Awesome. Well, thank you everyone for coming here today as we preview volleyball's run in to start the national tournament Friday against Iowa State. We're joined here today by Addie Schmatzer, middle blocker, head coach Tank Baum, and our setter of the year, Morgan Cayley. We'll start with an opening statement from Coach Baum, and then we'll get into questions for the athletes before dismissing them for their practice, and then we'll have questions for Coach Baum after that point. So, leading us off, head coach Tank Baum.
Just thank you for everybody for coming. This is a great opportunity for our team and for our athletic department and for our university. We're excited to see what we can do in the national tournament. We had a great run at the Summit League tournament. We're hoping that momentum can carry us forward in a couple wins this weekend.
And we'll start with questions for the athletes, please.
Morgan, Adam Mueller with the Crest. How does this team compare to every other team you've ever played on throughout your career?
We're very connected. I mean, we talk a lot about how every single one of each other, we're each other's best friends. And I think that's what is able to get us through those tough games, just knowing we're going to stay connected. And no matter what happens, we all love each other at the end of the day. Can
you both describe what the locker room was like after you guys won the conference championship?
We honestly didn't make it back to the locker room. We were on the court for the good majority of the time, and Tank said something. I can't really remember what he said because I was really excited. So I don't know. Addie, what do you think?
It was just awesome. It was just good vibes, and then we were taking our stuff off, and I think everyone was just so excited.
What about the feeling last night as you sat there waiting to find out?
I think all of us were so giddy, like we just could not sit still. We were like, is this going to be us? And yeah.
It was really exciting to be back with each other after Thanksgiving break. So just being able to see each other again and kind of relive the moment was really special.
Okay, and then you find out. What was that feeling like?
Every single time I thought her name was going to be called and it wasn't, so once it finally did, it was just kind of very surreal. I don't know, it's my little kid dream that's being lived out, so that was pretty awesome.
Yeah, it was really exciting to see St. Thomas up on the screen and then all of us cheering and all our support staff behind us.
Playing at Minnesota, you guys have played there before. Does that help you feel comfortable as you head into this?
I think for sure. We were talking about, like, it almost feels like a home game. Like, we're excited for so many Tommies to be able to make it.
Yeah.
What are you guys expecting for Tommie turnout? Are you guys hoping a big crowd shows up?
Yeah, talking to all my friends, trying to get the word out there. I have a lot of family members that are able to come, so that'll be really cool.
Yeah, I think it'll be hopefully a lot of purple.
Morgan, can you talk about what it's like being able to set for your front line for Tess and all of those, Tezra and all of those players, Addie, and what that's like to be able to choose from all of those?
It's really awesome because no option is a bad option. I really trust everybody in the front row, so no matter what the pass is, whether a perfect pass scenario or I'm out of system, I know whoever it is, we're able to know we're going to get a big swing out of them, and if something does happen, we got our back row there, able to be there to cover and all that stuff, so it's really awesome.
Can you both talk about when you knew this might be a special season, if you knew, or was it last night?
I think we all had a feeling from the beginning. We have 9 seniors this year and a lot of returners, so it was always exciting.
Final questions for the athletes?
Can you speak to something outside of the culture of the team that has led to this moment? Like, was there a particular hurdle you got over or something in particular from last season that you improved on?
Yeah, I would say going through conference, our loss at NDSU, that didn't really sit right with a lot of us, so we had a really good talk when we got to UND to the hotel. And we sat down and it was a very vulnerable conversation. But I really think that was what got us through the Summit League tournament, knowing that we are really able to be there, support each other. Yeah.
Yeah, I would agree with Morgan. That was a big moment and I think a big step for our team to take.
All right. Thanks, ladies.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, we'll open it up for questions for Coach Baum.
Can you talk about when you knew this was going to be a special season?
I really think that every season at St. Thomas is special. It's just a unique institution and the way that St. Thomas has approached everything every season, no matter if we're winning or losing, coaches find a way to make it special. So it's just not unique to volleyball. I think that it's just the way that St. Thomas does things. I had an inkling that this season could be really good based on last year. Last year, at the end of the year, we weren't allowed to do postseason competition, and we were able to beat South Dakota and South Dakota State late in the year. So going in, we knew that they would be the favorites for the Summit League title, and we knew that we had already beaten them. So the hopes were always high. I'll say that.
Coach, is there any reason why practice should be any different this week?
No, absolutely not. We focus on 1% improvement every day, and it's got us to where we are now. We don't need to change the formula. If it's good enough, it's good enough. If it's not, we'll go back to the drawing board and figure out where we need to improve our deficits. But again, keeping the athletes in the right frame of mind, and hopefully you can tell that they're happy and that they're excited for this opportunity, and as coaches, so are we.
Your athletes said they can't quite remember what you told them after they won the conference championship, but do you remember what you said?
I just told them I love them, and I couldn't be more proud. I mean, a lot of teams get in that situation, and they find ways to not pull it out, or they play a little tight. And for us, I thought we played about as free and who we see in practice every day. So that was the rewarding part, where the moment didn't escape them. It wasn't too big for them. And just beaming with pride, I remember telling them that.
How the North Dakota State loss, Morgan talking about that, does that moment afterwards happen without the seniors, or is that just a whole feeling of the team to be able to come together and have those conversations?
We as a coaching staff, when it's not going the way that you scripted or thought or planned, you try to identify the problem. And so it wasn't anything physical. And to say it was mental would be not quite accurate as well. It was, they were putting too much pressure on themselves and almost expecting wins where there are no paper champions. You got to play the matches. You got to execute. And in volleyball, you have to do it with the people you like. And they just didn't understand that. They all wanted the same thing, but they didn't understand how much they truly enjoy each other's company. When you're in it for 4 years together, right? And you might not tell your kid you love them enough, right? And they just weren't telling each other they loved them enough in those moments. And once they understood that, they were able to break through.
As far as St. Thomas's journey to make their mark in D1, how does it feel to have volleyball kind of be that team that's broken through and proved themselves and entered the NCAA tournament in D1?
Yeah, I'd kindly disagree. Football's won the conference before. Baseball is repeat champions. Softball won it last year, and we're just trying to follow their footsteps. Basketball made it to the championship of their league last year. I think that we were just able to break through. And again, I think that just the way St. Thomas does things has been beneficial for all sports, just not volleyball. I'm glad that we are the first ones that get to participate in NCAA postseason play, but I know for sure we won't be the last one.
Playing at Minnesota, that's got to help, or what are your feelings on playing so close to home?
It's all about perspective, how you look at it. I think that there's a lot of advantages at playing at Minnesota, and there's some disadvantages as well. Advantages, we can get our fan base there. I think that playing in that venue the last several years, it's not going to be too big for our team in terms of the attendance and the atmosphere. I'm very excited that we get to play so close to home. I have a lot of family here, so getting them to come, that's going to be special. Disadvantages, yeah, it's cold here. We'd love to go somewhere warm, but other than that, there's not too much to look at in terms of disadvantages.
What were your feelings last night as you sat waiting to find out, and then afterwards?
I was actually just thinking about the girls and how cool it was that we could organize that moment for them. That's a moment that they're never going to forget. I remember them giving a sigh of relief when Nebraska came up and it wasn't us, right? And it wasn't our pairing. But just the excitement when they saw St. Thomas with all these other great names that are, powerhouses in volleyball, to be up there with them is special.
Thanks, Coach.
All right.